Okay, the watch this video for March 23rd, which is going to be Thursday. Speaking of Thursday, that's our free webinar tomorrow night at 7:30. I'm going to put the link to the webinar in the description to this video on YouTube. Also, it'll be in our email if you're on our email list. Wayne and I are going to be talking about holding and hoping, that mentality that absolutely destroys trading accounts. If you want to be a trader, you have to purge that from your trading altogether. Okay, you have to be relentless, and we're going to talk about how to do that. We're also going to give out free virtual scotch. I'm not sure how I still haven't figured out the logistics of that, but free virtual scotch to everyone on the rocks. At the end of the hold and hope part, I'm going to give you an actual bottom feeding tip for intraday bottom feeding. If you like trying to catch bottoms on as a day trader, I'm going to give you a tip that I use when I am bottom feeding that a lot of people just don't realize, and I think it'll enlighten you a little bit on a pretty nice setup to look for. And also, we're going to give everyone who attends, it's going to be entered into a drawing for a free month in our chat room. Not giving everyone a free month. We're going to give one person a free month in our live trading chat room. And everyone who attends will get first shot at getting a seat. Make sure you save a seat for our Inflection Points Part 2 webinar. That's also going to be free, and that's our next one after this one. And Inflection Points was extremely popular. We want to expand on it on this next webinar and talk more about it and make sure we clarify some things. I think some things were misunderstood, and I think we'll make the Inflection Points talk even a little bit more useful for you going forward. All right, that has been a very, very popular webinar. So we're gonna expand, get you in line to reserve a seat for that as well. All right. So a lot going on tomorrow night at 7:30. We hope to see y'all there. I'm gonna go into the watch list now for tomorrow. Showing you the SPY here. A lot of times after you get a big candle on the SPY in the overall market, one way or the other, a lot of times the next day is pretty sideways and fairly narrow range. There it is on 15. See, it was pretty choppy. It did end up taking out like its 30-minute lows and then took out its 30-minute highs and pretty much nothing the rest of the day. No idea what to expect tomorrow. There's been a lot of talk about the healthcare vote, and that people are surmising that that is what is got the market kind of on hold, or everyone thinks that's going to be have a big effect on the market. Don't really know, don't really care. I'm just going to trade as I go, right? So the watch list I put together for tomorrow. NSPR is interesting because you had this big volume spike and it closed very strong. 15-minute candles. Look at that volume. Let's go out on 60, something I like to do. And I mean, it really clears it up. Look at that volume. You're going all the way back to February 16th, right? On this chart here. And that certainly standout volume. So I want to watch that one tomorrow. XGTI was on watch for today. No trades in it. It's still just kind of in this little tight range. I now have a new potential catalyst, which would be 162. Then a secondary catalyst would be 170 over that high, and then 174. All right, so I actually write these numbers down. 162, 170, and 174. I like to have those in my notes. So that one might, you got the volume on this spike. You got another nice volume spike here and a quiet day on almost no volume. So if we can break today's high tomorrow, 162 might be enough to get it to break out. MBRX. This one had a nice break, a massive volume, 24 million shares. I did call this one in chat right over this opening, I guess 5-minute range at 124. Let me double check that. I'm gonna look at it on twos real quick. It was actually, yeah, but it was at 124, and the worst case stop, worst case a dime below. So it did hold the stop and then ended up, ripping, went over 150 at one point. Having said that, I actually lost 75 bucks on the trade because I took it on that early break and then it chopped around, and I don't hang out on a morning gap play on a low float, low price stock. If they don't do what I thought they were going to do at the moment, I take them. I generally kill it. So I ended up taking a small loss on that. Plus, I'd already had at that point, I think I had a nice trade working in IDXG. Called this one at I think 265 today on that opening 5-minute candle there, and went all the way to 340, and that one made my daily goal right there. So I didn't really want to give a lot of money back. I had a nice trade working in that one. So whoops, let's go back to the daily. Actually, IDXG, since I'm showing it to you, didn't close very strong, but I like the volume. I like the attempted breakout. Maybe tomorrow it does something. We'll watch it. All right. Let's see. MBRX, I just talked about that one. VNCE has been getting big volume in these big spikes. I'll show you 15-minute candles. You had that big spike the other day, actually yesterday, and then a huge spike at the close today. Feels like something's up there, so we're going to watch that one tomorrow. HTGM, it seems to have found support at this $2 area after this massive move and kind of a secondary attempt at a move, and then got news in after hours. And as I'm speaking to you, it's trading at 290. I considered a trade in after hours, and it was just too thin. There was no way in. But it's trading. It should be a potential gap and go tomorrow, especially with a recent history from late February, making a move of $1.25 to 354, and subsequently seeing actually over $4 about a week later. This one's certainly one to watch tomorrow. I'm not sure what the float is on it, but I think it's really small. So keep that one on your radar. PULM gapped up today, and then came back in. So that one just, anytime I have a recent high flyer that's made really nice moves, and you get a red day, that doesn't mean I take it off the list. If anything, it's more interesting tomorrow, so it goes back on watch tomorrow. IDXG, I already talked about that one. AUPH, kind of the same thing. Recent high flyer, big pop, gapped up, red day, then kind of a quiet day today. I always want to keep the recent action stocks, the in-play stocks, if you will, on charts for several days. So that one goes on watch tomorrow. First Solar did come down and take out these lows that I talked about in the video last night, and then reversed, just like I thought it would. Having said that, I made zero on it because I was trading other stuff. And I don't know that it gave any kind of clean setup. Straight down on 15s. Maybe you could have taken a 15-minute buy setup here if you have the patience with a low of day stop. I didn't do anything with it. I'm more of a lower priced inflection point trader, not a reversal trader, but sometimes I'll take them, especially if that's the only thing the market's giving. I do like the fact that you have this bottoming tail, and and it closed near its high. So I'll be watching First Solar tomorrow for a continuation of that intraday bounce today. TGTX, just another red day, no trades in it today. It's right in the middle of that zone between the 8 and the 20. Some consolidation here to the left. So this is it's getting more interesting than it was yesterday now for a potential bounce tomorrow. No trades in it today. ESPR, again, really strong. I don't know if it's going to come back down to the moving averages or not, but I'm going to start watching it for a bounce tomorrow. Had it on watch today, but I didn't love it. And, I'd like to see it even come in another day, but no trades in it today. Goes back on watch for tomorrow. Lastly, NVCN. Nice pop. 2 days lower. Nice pop. 2 days lower again. It bounced nicely off the 8 a few days ago, and it's back there again. This one goes on watch tomorrow as well. In addition to this, we'll be putting pre-market gappers on watch and hopefully catch a couple nice trades tomorrow. Have a good night, guys. See you tomorrow.